Hey guys, we're back with day 2 of DGP, and I would like to first say congratulations to our secret word winner for our lesson 1, which was Landon Hallman. Congratulations, Landon, your package is in the mail. I can't wait to see who's going to win it this next time. Now, I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging if you want to participate in the secret word challenge. You have to participate with me with DGP by filling out your own DGP paper. Okay, as in lesson 1, we wrote the sentence down 4 times. So you're going to write our new sentence down for lesson 2 4 times and work it out every day, even the diagram with Miss Konas, me, and write down the sentence where you hear me say the secret word for today. So you have to do 2 things this time, not just tell me the sentence that I said. You have to actually participate with me and show me that you're following along and write down the secret word of what I said, how I said it. So when I say it in a sentence, write it down, okay? So those are the 2 things. Now, if you don't want to do DGP, that's okay. Okay, I know you got a lot of other stuff going on, so this is just extra practice. I wanted to hang out with you guys and work with you on this a little bit, but you don't have to turn anything in. The only thing you want to turn in is if you want to participate in our secret word challenge. Does that make sense? So the 2 things you have to do if you want to participate is fill out your paper and write down the sentence where you hear my secret word. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the secret word for today. Okay, now we're ready to begin. So you have your paper ready with your 4 sentences written down. If you haven't done that, pause the video and go ahead and write those down, okay? But our sentence today is a little bit longer. It says, Jack felt sick at home, so he called the doctor for help. Okay, so we're going to actually learn a couple new things in this sentence. But first, we always start with day 1 where we look at our parts of speech. Nouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs, prepositions, all of those. So let's start with our nouns. I spy with my tiny eyes 1, 2, 3, 4 nouns. Can you find them? 4 nouns. Now, I can't hear you if you're saying something, but when you call it out and you say the nouns out loud, you're participating. And we know in my class that participation equals learning. Okay, so even though I can't hear you, I might pause and ask you to say it. I want you to say it because that helps you understand it better. And if you make a mistake, guess what? No one knows because no one's there with you. Okay, all right, so let's find our 4 nouns. Our very first noun is Jack. Okay, Jack is a common or proper. It's a proper noun because it's a name. Okay. When we are trying to find nouns, we always think, is it a person, place, or thing? And I go through each word determining if it's a person, place, or thing. So Jack is our first noun. Okay. Do you see the second noun? Felt, is that person, place, or thing? No. Sick, at, home, person, place? Yes. Okay, so this is a noun. And it's simply a common noun, so we're going to put a lowercase in. Okay. So he called the doctor, person. Okay, so it's going to be a common noun here. And help is actually another noun here because it's not saying he helped me with my homework. He's saying he's asking for something, help. So it's another common noun. Okay. At any time, if I go too fast, just pause the video so that you make sure that you write down the correct information on your paper. All right, let's find our verb, okay? Our simple predicate, our verb. Remember, we have several different types: action, helping, or linking, okay? And this is where we're going to learn something new, okay? I always think, we want to think about our thinking. What did the main person or thing do, okay? In this case, what did Jack do? Well, Jack felt. His condition is feeling, okay? He's feeling something. So this is our verb, okay? And normally you might think that this is a action verb, but it's not, okay? The English language is very tricky sometimes. And you know how we've learned our helping verb, linking verb wrap? Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, could. But there are other words on that list. That's just the most common ones. Sometimes you might have linking verbs that are also seem, feel, sounds, looks, appear, and there's more to this list. Okay, so one of these words that's linking Jack to how his condition of being sick is the word felt. So this is just linking our subject to the predicate. So it's going to be a linking verb. Okay. Now you're not going to be quizzed on that or anything. So just put that in the back of your brain somewhere, tuck it tight so that when your teachers in the future say, hey, let's talk about our helping verb, linking verbs, you can kind of already file that away and then pull it out when you need it. Okay. But you do know what tense it is. Past, present, or future. Jack felt. Well, we know present tense is feels and future tense would be will feel. So this is past. So let's label it past. Okay. Jack felt. Okay. Do you see any other? Oh, there's another verb. Do you see it? He did what? He called. So that's our verb. And you can actually do that. You call your friends all the time. So this is an action verb. We have two verbs in a sentence. Ooh, that clues me in on the sentence type. All right, so what is our clue to tell me past, present, or future on this word? There's something on it. That's right, the suffix at the end, ed, always tells me there it's past tense. Okay, so we got our subject, we got our noun, our verbs. Let's find our prepositions. Okay, let's find our prepositions. If you have your Appendix B or your cheat sheet, that helps you with your prepositions because there's a long list. And remember, prepositions are the position of things, where something is, when something happens in time. However, just like the linking verb list is extensive, so are prepositions. There are some that you just need to memorize. So where did Jack feel sick? At home. So at is a preposition. Okay. And one of those that you have to remember and just memorize is the word for. He called the doctor. Okay. Why did he call the doctor? Well, it was for help. So this is one that we just have to memorize. Okay. Preposition. So we have two prepositions. So that means on the next day, we're going to have two prepositional phrases. All right. So we have a couple words left. The word the. What is that? What is that word? He called the doctor. Sounds like it's helping me understand doctor better. The doctor. Which doctor? The doctor. If it's describing this word, it's a noun. What is that word? It's an adjective. Right. And remember, we draw an arrow from the adjective to the noun it describes and modifies. You make that sound. It's fun. All right. Do you see anything else? We got 3 more words. Okay. Now, sick. What is that describing? How he felt. Who felt? Jack. So this word is actually describing Jack. So it's an adjective. This is simply what we call a predicate adjective. Okay. And we'll talk about that later. All right. We have 2 more words. Do you know what so is? It's a conjunction. Yeah, it's the glue. It's the glue that holds something together. So here we have a problem. Jack feels sick. And then we have a solution. So he called the doctor. Okay. So is our problem solver. Okay. We have a problem. He solves the problem. So it's a conjunction. We label it CC. And our last one, he. Who is he? Well, we're talking about Jack, right? So it's replacing his name. When we replace the name of a noun, we call it a pronoun. A pronoun. Okay? He, she, him, her, we, they, them, it, us, you, I. Those are all pronouns, okay? Now, what type of pronoun is it? Is it a possessive pronoun showing ownership? No, it's not. Is it a objective pronoun after the verb? Well, we have 2 verbs. We have this verb and this verb. Well, we have to kind of think about what sentence it is. What type of sentence? Is it a simple or compound? Do we have how many complete thoughts? We have our first thought, Jack felt sick at home. And we have a second thought, he called the doctor for help. So if it's in our second thought, that means it's going to be a beginning of the second sentence. So it's not objective. We call it a nominative pronoun. It's subjective, nominative. So we're going to label it N-O-M, nominative pronoun. All right, so that takes care of day one, all of our parts of speech. So I'm going to pause my video and be back with you in just a second. Give me a chance to erase my board, and it'll give you a chance to write down day two. Okay, we're back and ready for day two. Day two, we figure out the parts of the sentence. Okay, so we're looking for our subject, our predicate, any complements, if we have a prepositional phrase. All right, so first and foremost, who are we talking about? Whenever we're trying to find the subject, we think about our thinking, we say, who or what is the sentence about? Who or what is the sentence about, friends? Jack. Okay, so he is our subject. And what did Jack do, or what is his condition? He feels. There's our simple predicate. And in this type of sentence, remember, we can do our Kung Fu chop line in between our subject and predicate because it's just stating something. Okay, so get ready to hi-ya. Ready? It goes between your subject and predicate. Jack felt. Hi-ya. Did you say it? Okay. All right, now we had a conjunction here. And I told you that clues us into something, okay? But before we get over there, we're going to pretend that this conjunction doesn't exist and this second thought doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and underline in our first thought. Can you see that? Our first thought, our complete subject. Remember, it's on the left of the Kung Fu chop line, our dividing line, and it's all the words in the subject. It's simply going to be Jack. We're going to underline that once. To find the complete predicate, we have to underline the verb all the way to the end of that sentence, or in this case, to the end of the thought. Okay? So we're going to start with the verb, felt, and go all the way to the end of the thought. Put on those brakes. Do not include the word so. He doesn't belong. Poor guy, he doesn't belong because he is simply the glue that's holding these two thoughts together. Okay, it's like the mortar between bricks, the cement between bricks, holding your house up. Okay, this is just the glue that's holding these two thoughts together. I like to put a square around him just so I know I'm not going to do anything else with him. Okay, Jack felt sick. Okay, did we have a preposition in the first thought? Look at day one. Yes, we did. What was it? Did you say it out loud? Say it loud and proud. The word at. Okay, we don't have to label it again, but remember we're going to put parentheses around the prepositional phrase. So it starts with that preposition and it ends with the first noun you come to. Okay, and in this case, it's going to end with the word home. There's our phrase. What is the object in our phrase? Remember, the word object clues us in that it's something, which is a noun. What's the noun in the phrase? Right, we labeled it already. Home, at home, okay? Now, I've told you before, if you're in my homeroom, I've told you before, and maybe you've heard me say it with other classes, but if you have a prepositional phrase, you can pretend that it's not there to fully understand the basic sentence. Jack felt sick, okay? When we put in the words at home, that just tells me more information of the sentence to make it more clear. Okay, Jack felt sick. So we can find our complement. Jack felt what? So we say subject, predicate, what? Subject, predicate, complement. Jack felt what? And we can say Jack felt sick, right? So this is what we're going to call our complement. And I've said a lot of times, so many times, it's a noun, but in this case, it's called a predicate adjective. It's just an adjective, and we see those with linking verbs, okay? All right, so that takes care of our very first sentence. No problem, Bob. Let's go to our second thought. He called the doctor for help, right? Who or what is the sentence about? If I'm going too fast, please pause the video. Who or what is the sentence about? Well, we haven't changed people. It's still about Jack, but in this case, we changed the part of speech. It's now a pronoun. So we're going to say he. Okay? And what did he do? That's right. He called. And in this statement, he called the doctor for help. We can simply divide the sentence with our kung fu chop line between our subject and our predicate. Ready to make your sound? I want you to make it so loud in your house that your neighbors wonder what's going on. Ready? Hi-ya! Okay. Now we can underline our complete subject. Okay. All the words in the subject. And in this case, not including the word so. In this case, it's just simply he. Okay. And then we can underline our complete predicate. Starts with the verb and goes to the end of the thought. Called. We're going to underline it twice. There we go. Now, did we have a preposition in this sentence? We did. We did. So look back at day 1. And what was the preposition in this thought? Right, you should have answered the word for. It's just one of those that you have to memorize. So when we're trying to find our prepositional phrase, we put our parentheses in front of the preposition and after the first noun you come to, which is help. Okay? And what is the object? The object being the noun in the phrase should be help. It's something. O-P, object of the preposition. Okay? So if we take that out, if we pretend to take that prepositional phrase out, then the sentence says he called the doctor. That's perfectly fine, but now we understand why he called the doctor. He called the doctor. Your complement is never, ever, never, 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 ever, ever in the prepositional phrase. Ever. Okay? So if we take that out, we're looking for the complement. We have to say the words subject, predicate, what? And in this case, he called what? Do you know the complement? He called what? He called doctor. So let's label it complement. Okay? Nicely done. Now you can pause the video to make sure that you have all of this correct. I'm going to go ahead and do our third and fourth day. All right, which is our type of sentence and our sentence purpose, as well as our capitalization and punctuation. All right, so we talked about this having 2 complete thoughts in it. And when we have 2 complete thoughts, that means we have 2 sentences, okay? So if we have 2 complete thoughts, that means we have a simple subject and a simple predicate connected by a conjunction, and then another simple subject and a simple predicate, which includes that being a complete thought, that being a complete thought. So here we have 2 complete thoughts put together in one, just like 2 words put together, butter and fly, being in a compound word, we have here a compound sentence. So we call it CD, compound sentence. Okay? Now, I don't know if you can see all of it. There we go. What's the sentence purpose? Declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, or imperative? Are we asking a question? No. Are we commanding? No. Are we exclaiming something? Not really. So we, again, just like lesson 1, we have a statement, and you might have heard me say that earlier in this type of sentence. We just simply divide the line between our subject and predicate when it's stating something. That's what I said. So it's just declaring something, which is a declarative statement. Declarative statement. Okay? Now, let's do our punctuation and capitalization. When we have a declarative sentence, our punctuation is easy. Okay? Our punctuation is very simple. All we're going to do is put an insert mark and a period to reflect that it is a declarative sentence. Again, if it was an imperative or an exclamatory or a interrogative, our punctuation needs to reflect that. But in this case, just a declarative sentence, so it's simply a period. All right. Now, if we look at the beginning of the sentence, always and forever, Jack needs to be capitalized. Okay? 2 reasons. 1, it's the beginning of the sentence, and 2, because Jack is a, what kind of noun? A proper noun, right? Now, friends, we have one more thing that we need to do, okay? When you have a compound sentence and the structure of it looks like this, sentence connected by the glue, the conjunction, and another sentence, we need to put a comma after the first sentence. So it's almost like that extra boost of strength holding these two sentences together. So we have our word so, we go right before it and put a comma right after that first sentence. Jack felt sick at home, so he called the doctor for help. A lot of times we pause when we read a comma, but that doesn't always indicate that there needs to be a comma. Yet in this case, it's connecting two complete thoughts together, so we need a comma and the conjunction. So pause your video and I will be back with drawing our diagram, and we will do it lickety-split, okay? And I'll see you then. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm gonna have you draw it with me so that it makes more sense as we go. So we always start with our baseline. So we're gonna think of our sentence just one sentence at a time, one thought at a time, okay? It's gonna be so easy. It's gonna be done lickety-split, so easy, even a unicorn could do it, okay? All right, so let's think about our first thought. Jack felt sick at home. All right, so we're gonna draw our baseline. We draw our kung fu chop line, okay? And we also, if you look back at day 2, we also had a complement, okay? So we're gonna draw another line right here, but we don't cross the baseline, okay? All right, now, let's go ahead and label our subject. Who or what is our sentence about? Well, it's about Jack. And what condition he's feeling, okay? Jack felt what? Jack felt what? Sick, right? That's our predicate adjective that we learned. Jack felt sick. Okay, if you watch lesson 1 and you're in my homeroom, you've heard me say this many times, you can only use the word one time in the diagram. So we cross it off. We use the word Jack, cross it off. We use the word felt, we're going to cross it off. And we use the word sick, we cross it off. You've heard me say this, it's like an M&M. Once you eat it and chew it up, you don't need to use it again. You can't get it back the same way. So we're just going to eat it and be done with it. Got it? Okay. Jack felt sick. We got it. Now, we have this at home still in our first thought, okay? So we have a prepositional phrase. So we need to draw that. Remember, modifiers or extra information that describe where, when, how, okay, or which one. Those describing phrases or words go on a diagonal line, okay? Jack felt sick at home, okay? Jack felt sick at home. So we're going to say he felt sick where? He felt it at home. So we do our diagonal line right there. And then we have a flat line for our object. Okay, so first of all, what is our preposition? At. Okay, on the diagonal. And then at what? At home. We've used both those words, so we're going to go up here and mark those off. Okay? Now, we're going to move on to the second sentence. We're done with the first. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So take your pencil and draw right underneath it another baseline. Okay? Another kung fu chop line. And if you look back at day 2, did you see a complement in that second part? He called what? He called doctor. So we have a complement. So we're going to draw a complement line there, but we don't go through the baseline. All right, our subject in our second sentence is he. He did what? He called. Mark it out. He called what? Doctor. Now, the baseline should always read across like a newspaper headline. Extra, extra, read all about it. He called doctor. Now, it doesn't have to be all the information, but you get the gist of it, and that makes the sentence. Extra, extra, read all about it. Jack felt sick. And if that doesn't make sense when you read across the baseline, something went wrong. You need to look at it again. Jack felt sick. He called doctor. All the other words are extra. Okay, so we use doctor. What word describes doctor? Do you remember what you drew the arrow to? We drew the arrow under doctor, from the to doctor. We drew it underneath because we're going to draw a diagonal line underneath doctor. Okay? It tells me which doctor. Well, the doctor. Okay? Mark it out. All right? And the last thing we have is our prepositional phrase here in this second thought. So we need to draw another diagonal line as a modifier. He called for what? Okay, so on our diagonal line, we put the preposition for. For what? Help. And there you have it. We have two sentences, two complete thoughts, two diagrams. Declarative sentence, easy peasy diagrams. But they are not two simple sentences. They're not separated like this. They are connected. What is our connecting, our joining word, the glue, the mortar, the cement that holds these two together? It's the word so. And it's easy to see when we cross everything out. We've left off the word so we've got to put him in. All right? Our problem solver. Now, the way we're going to connect these two, we're going to draw a dotted line, dot, 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 dot. Give him a landing, dot, 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 dot. And I went over my word called, not a big deal. And so there's the word so. That's where we're going to put that guy. So he's our connecting word, like a staircase from one to the next. And there you have it. Okay, so you do not have to turn this in if you do not want to. I just enjoyed hanging out with you today. But if you wanted to participate in the secret word, be sure that you show me your 5 days worth of this sentence completed and the sentence that I used the secret word in. Send that to me in a picture, and good luck to those who win or want to win. I love you.